Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm again back with a very interesting topic from my book, The Power of Self-Talk. And today I'm going to talk about why we justify our actions and what we can do to improve that. And by the time this video will end, you will understand that what exactly are the different reasons that we justify our stand and why we want people to accept what we think. But do we really want to change? We want to have the same behavior again and again. And in case we want to change, what needs to be done with respect to that? Let me start with a very interesting story, a very simple story of two friends, Ram and Shyam. Both were very good friends and they used to study together, go to school and do everything together. As the time passed, they started losing the contact. And after a while, when they came to know, then at that time, Shyam became a very rich man. He had his own company, while Ram was still struggling with different jobs. Once Ram was looking for some job and he happened to find an interesting thing which he thinks is relevant for him. He went there for an interview and he qualified that interview. After qualifying that interview, when he got the chance to meet the owner of that company, he realized that it was none other than actually his friend Shyam. Shyam was also very happy to see Ram after a long time. They both chatted for a long time. And then Ram was very much welcomed in that particular company and Ram started working under Shyam. Everything was fine, but still one thing was always pinching Ram was that how can it happen that we both started our journey together as a kid. We both studied in the school. We all were almost similar in our competence and everything, that how can he become a owner of a big company and I'm still an employee and now I'm working in his company. So one day Ram could muster the courage and ask Shyam that what do you think is the main reason that why there is a wide gap in the success that has come. Shyam told him that he remember those days when he used to be in college and we used to stay in hostel, and one day when we were coming from the hostel to the college, all of a sudden I recall that I have forgot to switch off the lights and the fan in the hostel room. And when I told that, okay, let's go and do that, you said that, oh, why we should do it? We have already paid the money. So what does it happen? The hostel people will take care about that. But on that day I said, no. In case you don't want to come, don't come. I'll go back and I'll switch off the lights and fan and then I'll come back. So the key difference at that time was that I was owning the responsibility for what all I'm doing, but you didn't want to do that. And it's all because of those small decisions which you took and I took that the difference has come so far. My dear friends, so overall the summary of this particular story is that when we talk about responsibility, it's not about doing something big, something extraordinary, but in day-to-day basis, in our daily life, what we are doing every day, what we are choosing to do, that makes a real difference. Osho has said very rightly that responsibility is always the very first step of freedom. Throwing the responsibility on somebody else's shoulder is throwing away the opportunity for freedom. You cannot divide the two as they are inseparably only one. In general, what will happen in our life? Well, say for example, our colleague is not working, or maybe they are late, or they are doing a shabby job, we get offended. My child is not getting the good grades what I am expecting, I get frustrated. I am driving my car and someone hits the car from the back and I get so excited and so angry. I come out of the car, start shouting and doing all that. When all those things are happening, I always justify that it's not me who is doing it. It's because of the stimulus which is coming from outside. Because of that, it happened with me. So I don't own the responsibility. And then to justify my action, what we do, we generally try to find some like-minded people who also think in the same way and they also say that, no, we understand that, why you're doing it. So they endorse our action. So for example, if we like to drink, but the doctor is always suggesting that we should not drink, then we try to meet those doctors who are helping us or who are consoling us by telling that no, liquor is not bad, at least one peg is okay, it is good for heart. So what we are trying to do at that time, we are trying to justify our action, and as long as we are doing that, but still we want to change and improve, both things are not possible. So the change will be possible only when I start owning the responsibility that it is because of me that I am getting angry, it is because of me that I am getting frustrated, it is because of me that I am feeling in this way. Only then things will start changing. Well, someone has very, very rightly said at this stage that our happiness is our responsibility and no one is responsible for your happiness. So in case we think that we want to change, there can be 3 key steps with respect to that. The first step is that why do you want to change? The second step is how to do the change. And the third and the most important thing is that do we really want to change? It's very easy to do the step number 1 and step number 2, but the most important thing is step number 3, that whether we want to change or not. And that will happen only when we start accepting that it is not the outside world, but it is me who has to take the responsibility for anything and everything what I am doing. Say for example, you are driving in your expensive car and your driver is driving the car. And at that time your mood is extremely bad, you are very angry and all that. And somehow the driver bangs the car somewhere. What you will do, you will start shouting at your driver, tell him all those things that you should not say to the driver. Now take the second scenario. Again same car, again same driver, but this time your mood is extremely good. You're in a very, very pleasant mood at that time. And again the same thing happens, the car bangs. There is a very high possibility that this time you may not do exactly the thing what you did in the previous time. You may talk to the driver and say that you should be careful and do this thing and do that thing, and then you will move it further. So in both the scenarios, everything was same except one thing, that was your mood. In one scenario it was on the bad side, or other scenario it was on the right side, and that made the real difference. So it means it is us who has to own the responsibility for any change that we want, and when we decide to do that, things happens. Well, it has been very interestingly said that wherever attention goes, energy flows and things happen. And very interestingly said by God that stop using my name to justify your bad decisions. Well, I am challenging myself every day. Often I put the responsibility of my unhappiness on other people, that people are bad, people are doing like that, people are doing politics and all that. But I know that they can do everything, but they cannot enter in my mind. It is only me who is permitting them. So I am responsible for each and every decision of my life. I am challenging myself. I am feeling, but again I am challenging myself to get better. What you are doing, I am waiting for your feedback. Thank you.